Hello, welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be my top 5 favourite films for you. I've gone for this style of video because I want you to kind of get to know me a little bit better, to kind of get to know my personality and the style of kind of films that I like. So I've done top 5 because I figured it would be too long-winded if I did any more and too kind of short if I did any kind of less. But my style of video that I like is gore, kind of horror classics from the 80s and stuff like that. So a lot of them are kind of more horrors rather than kind of nice comedies or anything like that. But the first one that I'm going to show you is one that I constantly watched as a child. I grew up on this DVD. It is horror, so don't judge too much on my parents or anything like that. But it's one that I kind of always requested watching, and to this day I can still watch it and not get bored of it. And that is A Nightmare on Elm Street. I absolutely love this film. It's really gory, there's lots of blood, lots of guts and stuff like that. But it's one that keeps you captivated and one that kind of keeps you hooked on the storyline so much that you will watch all 7 DVDs. It follows a killer known as Freddy Krueger who gets into your dreams and your nightmares and kills you, basically. It's just a really good kind of classic 80s jump film, basically. They did do a remake of this, and if you want my opinion on that, it was basically a pile of poo. That was it. Basically, that's my opinion. This one is absolutely loads better than that one. If you did watch the remake and you've never seen these ones, please pick up this one. Do not judge this series on that remake because it was awful. But this is just a great DVD to start off with. If you are into kind of more kind of jump films, then do pick up this DVD set. That's the first one for you. The next one, I know that I said that I'm going for like the 80s horrors and stuff like this, but this is a newer one. This is the Innkeepers, which I just absolutely adore this film. All the way through the kind of like the first hour, there's a few kind of like little kind of silly scares and like little kind of like jumpy scenes and stuff like that. But it's more kind of comedy throughout the first hour. And then the last half an hour is absolutely terrifying. I like proper screamed all the way through, like kind of like the last half an hour of it. But it's just an absolutely fantastic DVD to watch. It's a really good kind of like more of a scare film, I would say. Not really gory or anything like that. There is a few scenes which are a bit like stomach turning and stuff like that. But it's more of a jump film, basically. But this is just absolutely fantastic. I always get this out if I have like a group of friends out and I want to kind of lighten the mood but at the same time scare people. So it's just a fantastic film to pick up if you can get your hands on one of these. And that's the Innkeepers. Next up is back to the 80s horror kind of genre. But this time it is the classic film and the remake, which I do like, and it's not a pile of poo. And that is the Halloween series. Michael Myers is such a fantastic killer. He's one of those ones which you kind of like, you're constantly looking at the screen to kind of see where he is, because it's always kind of hanging out in the background and stuff like that. So I just absolutely love this DVD set. It's an absolutely fantastic watch. If you do pick it up, I would avoid kind of watching the third one because it's not actually a Michael Myers film. If you want to leave any comments about it down in the comment section, then please do. But the third film has nothing to do with the Halloween series. But I just absolutely love this film. Michael Myers is a fantastic killer. And the storyline is basically him trying to find his sister or his family members. And he comes back every Halloween in order to kind of kill, basically. And it's just a fantastic DVD to watch. The remake of the Halloween film is by Rob Zombie. And now this one focuses more on kind of like the beginning of Halloween, like why he's a killer and kind of what his childhood was like and stuff like that. And it focuses more kind of like on the actual kind of characters in a way. So I do really like this film as a remake because I do think it's a fantastic one. But it also follows the John Carpenter films really well, which is why I absolutely love it as well, because I kind of wasn't going to watch this, and then when I did, I realised I absolutely adored it, and I was really kind of like thankful for myself for watching it. So that is the Halloween series. Next up one is that I've seen kind of a lot throughout my childhood, and I actually went to the theatre to see because I love it so much, and it's the Rocky Horror Picture Show. This is kind of like not a horror, but not really a comedy in a way. It's kind of like a mixture of in between. There is a few scenes that are a bit like, oh no, and like a bit gut churning and stuff like that. But there's also some really funny scenes in this as well. It is kind of like a musical, so there's a few songs and stuff like that throughout it. But it's kind of more of a kind of like a love kind of film, I would say. It's a bit of an odd one to describe. If anyone does describe it a lot better than I have, then please leave it down in the comments. But I just absolutely love this film. I always put it on if I want to pick me up, basically. I can sing along to it, I can dance along to it. It's just a fantastic film to watch if I'm having a really kind of down day, basically. So that is the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Next up is a film that is not horror and not a comedy or anything like that. It's one that I absolutely adore from my childhood, but it is from the 80s, and it's called Stand By Me. I absolutely adore this film. It's got some fantastic actors in it. Will Wheaton, River Phoenix, kind of like Kiefer Sutherland, and Corey Feldman, that's the name I was looking for. So there's some great 80s actors in here. But I just absolutely love this film. It's about kind of like growing up, basically. It's about four teenage boys that go out, basically looking for a dead body. But it's not as gory as you think it's going to be. And it's just a really nice kind of happy film that kind of follows four teenage boys. I just absolutely adore it. It's a really happy and uplifting film, and it's one of my favourites that I will always watch. I can never get bored of it, and I just absolutely think it's a fantastic film to watch if you're kind of after a really nice happy film, basically. So that was Stand By Me. So those are my top 5 favourite films. I do hope you've enjoyed this style of video. Please let me know what your favourite film is down in the comments, and I would love to comment on it and kind of tell you if I've watched it or anything like that. And if you do have any comments about the films that I've kind of suggested, and you have any better descriptions, as I'm awful at describing films, then please leave them below as well. Do this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching, bye!